The Beatles are celebrated for their groundbreaking creativity and enduring influence on music history. However, behind their meteoric rise, whispers of discord and tension among the band members were persistent. Now, through the eyes of their legendary drummer, Ringo Starr, these stories are finally brought to light, revealing the truth behind the strife. What caused the tension? How did they manage to maintain their musical unity amidst personal conflicts? Join us as Ringo uncovers how the Beatles navigated their differences, finding harmony in the midst of discord. In a revealing interview, Ringo Starr addressed the long-standing rumors that during the height of the Beatles' fame, the band members didn't get along and even harbored animosity toward each other. He acknowledged that while there were indeed many stories, including those about their supposed hatred, the reality was more complex. Like any group of close colleagues, the four band members had their disagreements and arguments. However, Ringo emphasized that these conflicts never compromised their music. No matter how heated their arguments became, once they started playing, they always delivered their best. He noted that such tensions are natural in any close relationship, especially one as high-pressure as theirs. As time passed and their personal lives evolved, Ringo, for instance, became a father. The focus and energy they initially dedicated to the band began to diminish. Despite this, Paul McCartney's relentless work ethic played a crucial role in keeping them productive. Ringo described Paul as the workaholic of the group, often rallying the others to continue making music even when John and Ringo preferred to take it easy. Ringo shared how he had been deeply immersed in the music industry since leaving his factory job in 1960, consistently playing and producing records. He observed that many top-tier artists lose their sense of identity at the peak of their careers, but he believed that he and his bandmates managed to stay grounded. This was partly due to their shared background and the mutual support they provided each other. Whenever one of them started acting like a big shot, the others would step in to keep things in check. He recalled meeting Elvis Presley and feeling a sense of pity for him. Despite being surrounded by people, Elvis seemed isolated, whereas Ringo always had his three bandmates for support. This camaraderie among the Beatles helped them navigate the pressures of fame more effectively. Ringo admitted to disliking practice and preferred learning by playing with other musicians, which he found more engaging. His early musical experiences in Liverpool, playing with neighbors and friends, laid the foundation for his career. Reflecting on the significant risk he took by leaving Rory Storm and the Hurricanes to join the Beatles, Ringo explained that although the Hurricanes were more prominent at the time, he was drawn to John, Paul, and George's dynamic. They met in Germany and played at the same club, where their chemistry was undeniable. Despite others questioning his decision, Ringo had no doubts about joining the Beatles. He was the only child of Richard Starkey and Elsie Glee, who both worked as confectioners. Ringo's mother, Elsie, had a passion for singing and dancing, which she shared with her husband, a big fan of swing music. Before Ringo's birth, the couple spent their free time dancing at local ballrooms. However, after Ringo was born, their regular outings stopped. Elsie became very protective of her son, while Ringo's father, known as Big Richie, began to lose interest in the family. He started spending long hours drinking and dancing in pubs, sometimes disappearing for days at a time. In 1944, the family moved to Admiral Grove in the Dingle area to save money on housing. Shortly after, Ringo's parents separated and divorced within the year. Ringo later said he had no real memories of his father, who made little effort to stay in touch, visiting only about 3 times after the separation. Elsie struggled to make ends meet on the support payments of 3 shillings a week from her ex-husband. She took several cleaning jobs before finding steady work as a barmaid, a job she kept for 12 years. When Ringo was 6, he developed appendicitis. After a routine surgery to remove his appendix, he suffered complications, developing peritonitis and falling into a coma for several days. His recovery took a year, during which he stayed at Myrtle Street Children's Hospital in Liverpool, away from his family. When he was finally discharged in May 1948, his mother kept him at home, causing him to miss school. By the time he was 8, Ringo couldn't read or write and struggled with math. This made him feel out of place at school, leading him to frequently skip classes and spend time at Sefton Park instead. With the help of his neighbor and surrogate sister, Marie McGuire Crawford, who tutored him twice a week, Ringo eventually caught up to his classmates. In 1953, Ringo Starr was struck with tuberculosis and was confined to a sanatorium for 2 long years. During his stay, the medical staff sought to keep the patients active and entertained, encouraging them to join the hospital band. It was here that Ringo first encountered a percussion instrument, using a makeshift mallet crafted from a cotton bobbin to tap on the cabinets beside his bed. This simple act sparked his interest in drumming. Soon after, a thoughtful get-well gift from his neighbor, Marie McGuire Crawford, arrived a record of Bedtime for Drums by Alan Ainsworth. Ringo later recalled, "I was in the hospital band, and that's where I really started playing. From then on, I only wanted to play drums. My grandparents gave me a mandolin and a banjo, but I didn't want them. My grandfather gave me a harmonica, and we had a piano, but none of them interested me, only the drums." Ringo attended St. Silas, a Church of England primary school near his home, where his classmates nicknamed him Lazarus. He later moved on to Dingle Vale Secondary Modern School, where he excelled in art, drama, and practical subjects like mechanics. However, due to his extended hospital stays, Ringo fell behind in his studies and was unable to take the 11+ exam required to enter grammar school. On April 17, 1954, his mother remarried Harry Graves, a man originally from London who had moved to Liverpool after his first marriage ended. Graves, a lover of big band music and singers like Dinah Shore, Sarah Vaughan, and Billy Daniels, introduced Ringo to their recordings. Ringo fondly remembered Graves, saying, "He was great. I learned kindness from Harry." After Ringo's prolonged hospital stay due to tuberculosis, he did not return to school. Instead, he stayed home, immersing himself in music, drumming on biscuit tins with sticks. When he finally returned home from the sanatorium in late 1955, he struggled to find a job, often finding it difficult to stay focused and disciplined. His first attempts at work didn't go well. In one instance, he took a job as a railway worker with British Rail, primarily to get some warm clothes. Although he received a suit, he lost the job after failing the physical exam and had to rely on unemployment benefits.